Hello YouTube, today we're doing an oil change on June because we are at 3,086.1 miles on the oil, 110 out of the gas, but we are overdue for an oil change, not by too much, but just by a little. So I was going to do it backed into this carport, but it's starting to rain, so I'm just going to pull nose first. But I also have a small update. I went ahead with my parts car that I forgot to do a longer video on than I did. I pulled the interior out, so now we have the FR40 seats and door panels and carpet. I found out that there were a couple mice that had started living in the back of the car, in the back seat, so I figured why not go ahead and get myself some cloth pouch seats and also upgrade. I went ahead and went with the center console too. I was trying to change the lid on the original one, but the plastic started cracking apart. But we now have very nice cloth seats and door panels, and I actually have some seat pouches. But today we're going to go ahead and do an oil change on the car. It's due, so it's going to be a quick little how-to. Step 1, drain pan. Step 2, open the hood. I'm going to grab some tools and we'll be right back. And we're back. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in once I can turn on the flash. So I always like to pull my dipstick and give it a quick wipe, just see where my starting oil level is. As you can see, we're still nice and full, granted a little brown. This car gets mostly highway miles, but I always take my dipstick off. Oh, and then my very hot, nice and hot oil cap. And set those off to the side. Now we can get under the car. Things we're going to need: parts cleaner to clean the block afterwards. This car takes 3.85 quarts of oil, but I always just put in 4 to account for the filter. So, new full synthetic 5W30 oil. 5W30 is what the car originally used and has always had used on it, so I'm going to stick with that. And then I only use Mobil 1 oil filters. And then still trying to figure out what happened with the car this morning, because the oil level was full. I checked it before I jumped it, but that motor was tired, and that car I think had 11 or 12 previous owners before myself, so I think it was just high time for her to quit. But we got the parts car motor with, I think, 133 or 136,000 miles. So probably should have ramps. But oh well. Locate your drain bolt. Here it is back there. Let me see if I can set the phone up. Need a little mini tripod for the ground. Let's see. There we go. Anyway, once you've located your drain bolt, you can come in under the car, loosen it, a little snug. Have your drain pan ready for when the oil falls. It's just going to be hot. I'll go ahead and have my ratchet reset to tighten. Make sure my glove is on all the way. And here we go. Got minimal spillage on my hand. I just let the oil drain out. Always remember, you want to take your oil cap off so there's no backward suction pressure. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of oil residue on the back of the transmission, kind of over there. Might be able to see it, but there's a camshaft plug for the cylinder head behind the coil packs on the 92 to 96 motors for the 3rd gen Camrys. Those had a distributor. They didn't change too much between the 3rd gen and 4th gen motors, other than small variances with the pistons, rods, and heads between the 3rd and 4th gens. And then went from a distributor spark system to coil packs. So what did Toyota do? They took a small piece of brass, almost like a freeze plug, put it in the cylinder head with a rubber grommet gasket around it, and that's that. So, drove the car around for the past hour or so, running a couple extra errands, so oil should be nice and hot. It'll be done draining here in a moment. As soon as that's done, we'll go ahead and get the drain plug back in and continue. But I'm not too terribly upset about Cammy's engine exploding this morning. Sure shit wasn't expecting it. It did startle the hell out of me. But I knew that car was going to need some engine work. So the engine's for that car, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and put the engine and transmission in together or just do the motor, because June, this car needs some transmission work, and I don't know if I want to have it rebuilt, keep the original transmission, or just swap in the low miles one. I'll probably just have this one rebuilt. It still moves, but the clutch pack and the torque converter is starting to go. So that looks like our oil's pretty much all drained. I'll put my finger over the hole, see if any extra falls out. Looks like just a few residual drips. But I'll go ahead and get this back in if I can avoid cross-threading it to start. There we go. Snugged up to there. Go ahead and get rid of the crappy plastic glove. And I'll do our last few threads the rest of the way with the ratchet. It's pretty snug. And then I'll come back and give it one more partial turn. You don't want to over tighten it, but you also don't want it loose. Always just one-handed it. Always just one-handed. Come up, grab our rag, wipe away any remaining residue, and that's that. So now the oil's drained, we can grab our pan, bring it forward kind of directly under the oil pan, and now I'm going to go put some thick gloves on and we will get the oil filter off. So bear with me for a moment. Alright, got my glove on. Went ahead and took the oil filter out of the box. It had this little plastic on it. Something that I've noticed Mobil is now doing is that they are pre-lubing their oil filters. So now we just gotta come in and there we go. And that is why I put the drain pan under the car, because unless you let the car sit for a while, you're gonna get oil down the front of your block. That is also why I have the parts cleaner. Okay, old filter off. Doesn't smell burned up or anything. And now our old filter's off. Make sure my glove's clean. Go ahead and put on our new filter for the 5SFE motor, 92. I don't know about the 1st and 2nd gen motors, because those are also S series, but I know 92 to 01 Mobil 1 103A oil filter. So now come in. It's difficult to do one-handed. Screw it on. And then do a little, hold the phone with this hand, take my bare hand in here and just You want to make sure it's not so tight you're not going to get it off, but just single-handed as tight as you can. You don't have to worry about leaks or anything after. So now that that's done, I'm going to take all 4 caps off our new quarts of oil, and then we'll dump oil in. Okay, I forgot my funnel at my shop. I have a funnel from Harbor Freight. It screws in, so you don't have to worry about spilling. I seem to have forgotten it. So, yellow Kirkland rag for the win, because I already have a small leak and I prefer not to leak any more oil than necessary. So, once again, Walmart. There's $4.99 a quart nowadays. It used to be cheaper. But see if we can get them all 4 in without spilling. Once that quarts get to about halfway, I'll lean it on the valve cover or cam cover or rocker cover, depending on your part of the world. There's quart 1. Go ahead and set that aside. There's quart 1. Quart number 2. And like I said, the motor itself, Toyota says it uses 3.8. I always just put in the full 4 to account for if you have any leaks or spills or oil filter. I know houses a little bit, so I always put it, you always want to put it right side up like that when you're done. You don't know what's going to fall out. Next time I do this, I'll do it on my V6 5-speed or maybe on my Sequoia. Sequoia probably good. It's got a weird oil filter housing location at the front of the motor, kind of right next to the driver tire. Almost spilled, but not quite. Okay, there's number 3. Set it on the ground. Put the lid on in case I knock it over. These always have just not any extra oil, but just a smidge. And now number 4. Shit, spilled a little. Come on, stop dripping. Knew I should have used the damn funnel. Do need to get in here and give the engine a pressure wash. It's always good to keep it clean. That way you can keep an eye on leaks and so on and so forth. But I had a major leak that I had to fix with the cam cover plug, and then I just haven't had that much time. Okay, so oil cap's back on. Get in here and clean up where that little bit dripped. Now we can throw the dipstick in. As you see, nice and clean and dry. Dipstick in, dipstick out. Shows a little over full, but that'll go away. So next step, not forget the key sitting over here. Got our Toyota key and our RS remote. Now we come in the car. Damn seatbelt timer. Fire it up. Oil pressure light went away. Go ahead and reset. For next. Thanks, dash cam. Put the key in the door so I don't lose where it went. So now that we've done that, that's pretty much it. Come back, wipe our dipstick, make sure you get all the oil off, and obviously make sure you don't pick up any dirt, debris. Good as new. Now that the oil's been pumped into the motor, nice and clean right at the full line. So I have one more step that I do. I do oil changes. As you saw, because it's a front mount filter, leaks down a bit. I'll just come in and shoot everything with brake clean, and very carefully reach in here with a rag on the hot everything. Just kind of absorb it all up. Most of it. Got a little bit of residual residue. And come in on the other side, past the hot exhaust manifold and the hot everything. Suppose I could try and keep this in focus. Come in here and just wipe around in all the little nooks and cracks and crannies. Get it as good as we can, and then, like I said, we're going to give the engine a wash the next few days, but there we go. Good for the next 3,000 miles. So that'll do it. Thanks for watching. We'll have more content coming soon. More something coming soon, because I'm probably going to end up rebuilding this transmission myself. Definitely, if not this weekend, then the following weekend, we're going to be doing the engine swap in the other car. So I'm going to do a time lapse, and we're going to do that start to finish. See you then.